Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, and today we're reviewing a prototype unit of the Zoom65 V3. This is Talkie Doki, and it's been a while, very long while since I last reviewed a keyboard, let alone built one. So I thought I wasn't going to be able to build it seamlessly. Frankly, I was a bit nervous when I opened up this bad boy. But yeah, I still know how to build one and turned out pretty nice. So this is the newest keyboard from Meletrix. It's the third version, the third iteration of their popular Zoom line. This is the Zoom65 V3. And in this review, I want to focus basically on the user experience of having this keyboard and whether this is the best Zoom65 V3 of all time, and more importantly, whether it changes the game and should you be getting one for yourselves. So the Zoom65 V3 is a 65 keyboard with tons of customization. I mean, literally tons of customization. I personally feel that it has way too much customization for what the target population of this keyboard should be. So let's drop by the Zoom65 V3 official page. So this is the official page where you can see all the options that you can get, including backplate colors, external weight color. It's good that they would allow you to choose your plate material, because all the past Zoom keyboards that I have reviewed just comes in with a polycarbonate plate. And this is the IC page, wherein you will get a lot of information on what this keyboard is about. So it has 16 case colors to choose from, and would you look at that, a lot of good colorway. So for those of you who are very aesthetically picky about their keyboards, this might be a good choice for you. This one is the milk tea colorway, and I really love it. I really love it. There are 4 case variations. There's the classic 65 case variation. There's a special panda and cupid variation. And I think this one with the tail light accent looks really nice. Unfortunately, mine didn't come with it. I do love it though. I do love how it looks like. Still looks like your Zoom 65. No major changes. And personally, I find that a bit of a downer. So I was thinking to myself that they would be modifying this Zoom version, because frankly, I think the Zoom 65 design it's not the best out there. It leans toward more on the minimalistic, boring side of things, but it's not bad. It's clean looking. So moving forward, I love that it has a quick assembly system. So which means if I want to open the top and the bottom case, I just have to push it down and voila. All right. So no screws needed, no tools needed. Even if I can remove the top case easily, it's still the fact that the switches and the keycaps are the most time consuming build of a keyboard. So who knows, in the future they might be able to introduce a better or a faster way to remove and change keycaps and switches. All right. The same is true with the emblem. If you ever want to change the emblem at the back, so it's also a magnetic snap-on emblem. So that's a very welcome addition. It has 7 mounting styles, and that is really nice. So nothing crazy about that, because a lot of keyboards have tried implementing multiple magnetic styles in one keyboard, multiple mounting styles in one keyboard. Let's just go through them one by one. There's a short arm spring mount, a non-load bearing spring mount, a split O-ring mount, a magnetic levitation mount, the silica gel particle mounting, the top mount, and the floating pogo mount. That's a lot. All right. I have tried probably 2 or 3 of these mounting systems, and at the end of the review, I'll give you my conclusion on them. Six modulars, so you can replace the look from one key LCD, which is the default. I think the LCD looks really nice. You can add on a knob, a night light dots badge, a night telescope badge, and a magnetic badge. Personally, my favorites are the LCD screen, which is the default module, but I also do love the night light dots and the telescopic badge. All right. So again, this keyboard screams customization, even offering an HE module for those of you who want to use magnetic switches. All right. So I've been using these keyboards for around 2 or 3 days, and I really find interesting the addition of the newer mounting systems, which is the magnetic levitation mounting. Really, really crazy. So I think this has been tried before, but if I'm not mistaken, the Zoom65 V3 is the first version who fully implements it in a production keyboard. The magnetic levitation mounting feels really bouncy. So among the keyboards that I have tried, this mounting style might be the bounciest that I've tried thus far. The Acco Spring 65 and 75 keyboards, those implemented the spring mounting, which is really, really bouncy as well. But I think this one is a little bit more bouncier. So I'm using the keyboard with foams, with lowercase foam and a plate foam, and yet it still bounces like crazy. So a bit too much bounce for me, but if you do like that feeling, then this is a good option for you. And mind you, the Zoom lineup is bouncy by default. The magnetic levitation mounting made it a little bit more bouncier than the default Zoom. So if that's your thing, then probably this one might be for you. The sound profile of this keyboard is typical of your Zoom. The Zoom 65 still goes down to that foamish sound signature that is a bit muted. So if you pop in louder switches, then it might bring and elevate the sound a bit. Whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not really sure. Because the Zoom keyboards, don't get me wrong, the Zoom keyboard sounds nice. Maybe it's just that I'm looking for something different. All right. So it sounds nice. It sounds clean, depending on your mounting style. There are instances where there will be hollowness on the edges. So like this one, I'm using the magnetic levitation mounting, and there's a bit of hollowness near the mounting points of the keyboard. So now let's talk about the mounting option. Does it work, or is it a gimmick? Okay. Honestly, guys, I feel that this mounting system, they do changes on the feeling, on the type feel, and on the sound, but to a level that is not that much significant. So there are slight differences that you could tell, especially if you are that of a person who has been doing this for quite some time. So the maglev would be a little bit bouncier compared to the spring, but maybe 5 or 10%. The sound signature might change, but not that much. Probably around 5 to 10%. I'm expecting the top mount to sound really differently, but for this build, it didn't sound that much of a difference. And again, it all goes back because the PCB is very thin. It's a 1.2 millimeter PCB with crazy amount of flex cuts, and I'm building it without the PE foam. So that could be probably the reason why it's not expecting any significant changes. They did try to implement a O-ring mounting system, but they did a split O-ring mounting, which was a bit depressing for me, because I really think that if they did the traditional O-ring mounting for this one, then that could have made a significant change in the feel and the sound profile of the keyboard. But other than that, that's my take on the different mounting options. It's something that it's nice to have, but it doesn't really, for me, it doesn't really offer that much of a difference. At the end of the day, it still has that clean, a bit muted sound signature of the Zoom 65 series. All right. And with that being said, is this the best Zoom 65 V3 or ever? I would have to say yes, of course. The newest iteration, the newest version of the Zoom65 V3 is by far the best Zoom65 out there. It has tons of optimization and customization options that wasn't available in the previous versions, and all of these options were really well thought of, were really well designed, and it does work. All right. Now the next question is, should I be getting one? Is this the keyboard for me? The thing with this keyboard, if you're going to ask me, coming from a point of view of a keyboard enthusiast who kinda got bored with the current mechanical keyboard scene, because honestly I felt that for the past year and so there was nothing new being introduced to mechanical keyboards. The last innovation that really trickled the minds of all the keyboard enthusiasts out there were the introduction of the gasket mounting system and the leaf spring mounting system. Those were revolutionary. The Zoom65 V3, for me, at my level, I think isn't that much exciting. They are doing what other keyboards are doing, which is basically combining everything in one keyboard. It isn't much revolutionary, if you're going to ask me. But I think it's a really good move for the Meletrix company to do this in their Zoom65 lineup, because at the price point that they are targeting, very competitive and very appealing price point, starting at 169, 179 US dollars. I think they will be hitting the appetite and the requirements of those people who are in that price point of the hobby. So if you're someone willing to spend 169, 179 US dollars on a keyboard, and you're offered something like this with almost an unlimited gamut of option, then that would be really exciting. That would be really exciting. All right. It's just that I'm in a point in this hobby that I kind of am looking for specifics in a keyboard, and I would spend much more on a keyboard which with less customization options, but with more of the specifics that I'm looking for. A better typing feel, a better sound, which is not foam dependent, things like that. So, to close this segment, again, thank you, Meletrix, for giving me a chance to review this keyboard. I will be flashing on the screen the disclaimers that they wanted me to post and to let the audience know about this prototype unit and what they should be expecting from the actual group buy unit. Thank you, Meletrix, again, for letting me review this keyboard. It's an awesome keyboard. For the price point, it's an awesome keyboard. There are new introductions and new technology being incorporated in this keyboard. The split O-ring mount, magnetic levitation mounting, makes it easier to disassemble everything because it's now doesn't rely on screw. Thank you, Meletrix. It's a good keyboard for the price and for the offering and for who they're targeting. I think this keyboard is really worth it. Slow clap to Meletrix for making a better version of the Zoom65 lineup, probably one of the best version. And yeah, that's it. Good keyboard, sounds clean, a bit on the muted side. Everything works perfectly fine. It's just that at the end of the day, it still doesn't offer the innovation that I'm looking for, which is fair. Which is fair for the company, for Meletrix, because Meletrix is not targeting enthusiasts at my level of requirements. Meletrix is targeting those who are deeper in the keyboard hobby, who want to try out a lot of new things, and who want to experience those different mounting options to see from themselves what they want best, sound profile that they want best. And that keyboard, this is the keyboard for you. All right. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you find this review and my inputs useful. This is Talkie Dokie. Till the next video.